What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about and be the owner of some real deal money. I'm not talking about that fiat. I'm not talking about that currency. I'm talking about both silver and gold. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about a gold to silver ratio, and I'm not talking about the gold to silver ratio. I'm talking about setting yourself up a personal gold to silver ratio as a strategy as you stack the precious metals. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. 4 super quick things as we fully dive into the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, make sure to try yourself some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to be, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really simple for a new investor to start investing because of how easy it is to learn about the market and navigate on their app. Webull link in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies, any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about having a personal gold to silver ratio as a form of a stacking strategy as you little by little, step by step, brick by brick, build yourself up a mountain of precious metals, both silver and gold. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the gold to silver ratio, but since, hey, while we're here, the spot price of silver as I'm filming this video, $31.96. The spot price of gold as I'm filming this video is $3,239.60. So silver is just about $32, and gold is a little over $3,200. So the gold to silver ratio is about 1 to 100. It's like 1 to 101 at this time, which means according to the spot price, it takes 100, maybe 101 ounces of silver to equate to 1 troy ounce of gold. That is the current gold to silver ratio, but we're not talking about the gold to silver ratio here. I wanted to talk about something that I thought about early on. And, for a little while, I was actually considering this to be a mistake that I had made in my 7+ year stacking journey, not establishing a personal gold to silver ratio. Now, we all have one. Let's just say you have all silver, no gold at all, or all gold, no silver at all. Your gold to silver ratio is like however much you have to 0. But most of us, many of us, a majority of us, or should be all of us, have at least a little bit of both. If you have one metal, in my honest personal opinion, from my own perspective here, you should also have the other. You should be stacking both. If you're going to stack one, you should be stacking both. It doesn't have to be an even amount, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I believe, now just from my angle here, I think there's far more opportunity in silver. And I'm not just talking about because it's priced a lot lower. Silver is not a cheap version of gold. Silver is not a white version of gold. Gold is not an expensive version of silver. Gold is not a yellow version of silver. They are 2 completely different metals used in completely different ways. They are different. It's not just a color of metal. They're vastly different. They have different melting points. They weigh different amounts. A troy ounce of one is not the same size of a troy ounce of the other. If you take a troy ounce of silver and put it next to a troy ounce of gold, you'll notice that the troy ounce of gold is actually a little bit smaller. It's like a pound of rocks versus a pound of feathers. They're both a pound, but it takes way more of one as opposed to just, one little rock. Way more feathers. Hefty bags upon hefty bags upon hefty bags of feathers compared to one little rock that you can hold in the palm of your hand. They have different melting points. They're very different. The point is that they are very, very different. And that for diversification, while stacking, it's best to have both. Now, you don't need to have an even amount of both. You don't need to get an ounce of gold for every ounce of silver you get. You don't need to get $1,000 worth of gold for every $1,000 worth of silver you get. However it is that you're, breaking it down and crunching the numbers. It doesn't have to be even. In fact, I don't think it should be even. I think your personal gold to silver ratio should be kind of more of a reflection of what the actual gold to silver ratio is. So just to make things simple, with the gold to silver ratio right now being about 1 to 100 approximately, consider getting yourself an ounce of gold. For every 100 ounces of silver you pick up. You're stacking silver, you're trucking along, you're getting a piece here and there, 5-ounce bar every here and there, a couple coins here and there, a 10-ounce bar every once in a while, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, I just, over the course of however long it took me, I just added an additional 100 troy ounces of silver to the stack. Time for a little bit of gold. Even if it's harder to acquire, even if you got to take a step back and save up for that 1 ounce of gold, because odds are you probably didn't get all 100 ounces of silver all in one shot. Probably not. Took you a little while. Well, guess what? With the current gold to silver ratio, it's going to take you the same amount of time to not work your way up to 100 ounces of silver like you did with silver, but to save up to get that 1 ounce of gold. Probably take you about the same amount of time, assuming that the spot price doesn't do anything wacky. It doesn't have to be 1 to 100, though. It could be even wider. More spread out than that. It could be, if you want, maybe 1 to 1,000. For every 1,000 ounces of silver that you get, you go and get yourself 1 ounce of gold. Or, to be more realistic here, for every 100 ounces of silver you get, you go and get yourself a little 1/10 of a troy ounce piece of gold. Little gold coin, little gold bar, something like that. I think establishing a personal gold to silver ratio and sticking to it is probably a pretty smart idea. Now, like I said earlier, something that I kind of considered a rookie mistake of mine for a really long time was not establishing a gold to silver ratio for myself, for my stack, early on. I was all in on silver. And for the most part, I am way more focused on silver than I am gold, because I do believe that there's far more opportunity in silver than there is gold. On the flip side, there's far more stability in gold than there is silver. And gold is, at the end of the day, the superior metal between the two. Gold is, at the end of the day, the powerhouse metal. Gold is, at the end of the day, the go-to metal for the most wealthy people on planet Earth. Silver's the underdog metal, and I've always been the one to root for the underdog, probably because I identify with the underdog. I am the underdog, and I've been an underdog. But when it comes to having a personal rule that you follow, a personal strategy that you go by when it comes to stacking, I think it can keep you really organized, and I think it can pay off many, many, many times over in the long run. And I do believe that obviously it's going to take some self-discipline, because a lot of people be like, well, silver's cheaper, I can get way more silver right now. As true as that is, we shouldn't always prioritize cheap. We should also prioritize value. Not to say that there isn't a tremendous amount of value in silver, and not to say that silver is not painfully undervalued. I believe that it is. However, I also believe in the importance of diversification. And I have seen firsthand experience, what can happen if you have that long-term focus and vision, that delayed gratification, as opposed to instant gratification. Instant gratification can come with getting a whole bunch of silver, with the spot price being in the 30s right now. Not extraordinarily high premiums. You can get quite a bit of silver for $100, $500, $1,000, $3,300. How much gold can you get with that? At the most, a troy ounce of gold. And if you don't have $3,200, $3,300, a fractional piece of gold, a little 10th ounce gold coin, a quarter ounce gold coin, or something smaller. A 5-gram gold bar, a 1-gram gold bar. Gold is fairly expensive. But it's also a good thing. You can pack a larger amount of value into such a small little unit. For the sake of convenience, that's actually a good thing. You don't have to carry around a big giant bag or a big giant box of silver. You could take one coin and slip it in your pocket. So for transportation purposes, it could be more convenient. Both have their pros and their cons. But ultimately what it all comes down to is prioritizing diversification and maximizing your exposure to both metals. Now, yes, I do believe that silver is far more undervalued. I believe that silver is like stupidly undervalued to the point where it makes 0 sense for it to be where it's at, spot price wise. Gold, I think, is a lot closer to being fair valued. Silver is not slightly undervalued. I think silver is like insanely undervalued. Gold is closer to being fair valued. But for the sake of diversification and maximizing yourself to, or maximizing your exposure to the metals, you do want to have both. And you do want to come up with a strategy for yourself. Now, it could be an ounce count, or it can be by currency dollars. See, I've heard people go about it both ways. For every $1,000 that they put into silver, roughly, it doesn't have to be to the penny, but for roughly every $1,000 they put into silver, they then turn around and put $1,000 into gold. You can go about it that way. I personally prefer to go by ounce count. That way makes a little bit more sense to me. So for every X amount of ounces of silver you get, you then go and get yourself X amount of ounces of gold. So this is something that I never did. And for a while, I actually considered it to be a rookie mistake of mine and something that I wish I had done earlier. I got a whole bunch of silver, and I don't even know what my personal gold to silver ratio is because I have way more silver. Like, my personal gold to silver ratio is not 1 to 100. It's not even 1 to 200. It's not even 1 to 300. I don't even know if it's 1 to 400. But my personal gold to silver ratio doesn't even make sense. I'm personally, and I can admit this, I am very weak on gold. And hey, you know what? It is what it is. You live and you learn, you stack and you learn. I am willing to make some corrections. I'd like to fix that. I would like to become a little bit stronger when it comes to gold. And I'd like to get my gold up. I'd like to get my gold weight up, which is something that I'm working on doing this year. I'm actually saving up for my very first 1 troy ounce gold coin, and it's going to be a gold buffalo. And the way I see it, the past is the past. I don't even, man, I would have to go and count every single thing that I own just to figure out what my personal gold to silver ratio is, which, to be honest with you, I'm kind of unwilling to do. So what I'm doing is, from this point moving forward, I'm trying to figure out a personal gold to silver ratio stacking strategy that I can establish for myself from this point on. So I'm going to go throughout this year, picking up as much silver as I can, saving up for that 1 ounce gold buffalo coin, and who knows, maybe by the time I get that 1 ounce gold buffalo coin, I'm able to afford myself another little piece of gold as well, maybe a 1/2 ounce or a 1/4 ounce gold coin. I don't know. I'm working on it. But that's how I'm going about doing it now. And I'm trying to iron out the details and figure out what makes the most sense for me. So I'm making a video talking about how it's a good idea to have a personal gold to silver ratio stacking strategy. I'm still trying to figure out what makes the most sense for me. I'm still trying to figure out what my gold to silver ratio is going to be. Yeah, I do personally prefer silver, and sometimes it is a little bit tough to set aside cash and leave it there as cash and let it sit there as cash for weeks on end, months on end. I mean, in my case, there's a good chance it's most of 2025 that I'm allowing this cash to just sit there with, where I could very easily take that cash and automatically transfer it to the local coin shop in exchange for some silver. But delayed gratification pays off so many times over. And I know this firsthand. I have firsthand experience. I understand the importance of having that long-term vision. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I'm saving up for a 1 ounce gold coin. Now, I'm saving up for this 1 ounce gold coin from money that I make from one particular revenue stream. Other revenue stream, aka one of my paychecks that I get, I have 2 jobs, by the way, one of my paychecks, after the financial responsibilities are taken care of, after I make sure that keeping a roof over my head this month, food in the fridge this month, my car on the road this month, and everything else I gotta take care of, what's left over, I'm gonna get a little bit of silver every week or once every 2 weeks, or even if it's just once a month, and stockpile the silver buffaloes. Operation Stampede is what I call it. I'm spending this entire year taking a little bit of my leftover cash and getting myself, even if it's just a small handful of silver buffaloes. And yes, throughout the course of this year, I do plan on checking off a couple of things on my to stack list, a couple of silver pieces that I've had my eye on for way too long without converting my dollars into. I would like to convert my dollars into those pieces this year. But that's what I'm doing with a little bit of leftover cash that I have from one of my paychecks. On the other side of things, I have an additional revenue stream. If you don't have multiple streams of income, I believe you're shooting yourself in the foot. Have 2 or 3 or more streams of income. So for this other stream of income, that cash, so far this year, 100% setting it aside. And I am saving up for a 1 ounce gold buffalo. So yes, I'm saving money that I make in one way, but I'm converting my dollars into silver from money that I'm making a different way. That's one of the main reasons you should have multiple streams of income. You can get creative. Is it exhausting? Is it hard to work 2 jobs and run a business? Yeah, it's tiring. But guess what? Delayed gratification. The retired version of me will look back and say, thank God I did what I did. Thank God I worked as hard as I did. Thank God for all of those early mornings followed by 12, 16 hours worth of work into a late night followed by another early morning of the same thing. Thank God I did that when I was young. Thank God I did that when I was energetic. Thank God when I was in my prime, when I was youthful, when I was young, healthy. I plan on being healthy as I'm older as well, but You can't beat the health that you had in your 20s and your 30s and even your 40s. You can only do it for so long. So the way I see it is that, I have a couple things going for me at this point. I have, number one, I'm young. Number two, I have good health. Number three, I have a God-given level of energy. And four, one day those three things will no longer be true. So I want to capitalize on that now and do the most now and set my future self up, my family up long term, down the road. Set everything up, set my life up. The ripple effect, the snowball effect, the compound effect will do its thing, and I will reap the rewards later. I don't need the rewards right now. I don't need the rewards right now. I'm too busy to be rewarded. Long-term focus, long-term vision, long-term play. And by doing things the way that I'm doing things right now and figuring out a way to crunch the numbers and establish a personal gold to silver ratio for myself will pay off long-term. So I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know. What are your thoughts on having a personal gold to silver ratio? Do you have one? Do you get a certain amount of gold for every certain amount of silver that you pick up? Maybe for every 100 ounces of silver you get, you make sure to go and get yourself a quarter ounce of gold, a 1 ounce gold coin, 10th ounce gold coin, 5 gram gold bar, something. Is that how you go about doing it? Or are you 100% all in on just one metal and randomly, sporadically, from time to time, you'll pick up a little bit of the other metal? Have you established yourself a personal gold to silver ratio? And if not, does everything that I said in this video make sense? And is this something that you're going to go about doing? Something that you're going to go about implementing? A strategy that you're going to come up with and integrate to your stacking concept? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. Follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And of course, 4 super quick things as we wrap up the video. Number 1, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to get started, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate on the app and learn about the market. And I do plan on taking 3 people this month in May of 2025. I want to help 3 people learn about the market and help them and guide them through kickstarting their very own investment portfolio. So if you want to be one of those 3, please reach out, and the Webull link will be in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, whether it be anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. And once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know one more time. What are your thoughts on having a personal gold to silver ratio? Does this make sense to you? Is this something that you've always gone by? Maybe it's for however many dollar bills you convert into silver. You then turn around and convert an equal amount of dollar bills into gold. Or maybe for every 100 ounces of silver or 200 ounces of silver you pick up for yourself, you then turn around and pick up 1 ounce of gold or a quarter of an ounce of gold or a little 5 gram gold bar or something like that. Do you have a personal gold to silver ratio? If not, is this something that makes sense, and is this something that you plan on implementing? Something that you plan on introducing to your stacking concept. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.